It's funny, people come up and say, "Oh, thanks very much." Why did I need to thank me? I should be thanking them. For me, going to Liverpool was I was very fortunate that I got to go to where I would have chosen. It says there's somebody here wanting to speak to you. So it was Bob Paisley and Sir John Smith. So it took about 30 seconds. They were determined to win something again that year. And I thought, this will do me fine. I've just come in here and they've just won two, but they want to go again. There was nobody in the dressing room that thought they were bigger or better than the guy that was next to you. Friendliness and the humour, it's very similar to Glasgow. So it was easy for us to settle down. But coming to Liverpool was certainly one of the better decisions I've made in my life.
Welcome to another special episode of Fan Zone, the talk show by fans for fans. Today we're joined by Liverpool legend Sir Kenny Dalglish, Callum from Liverpool channel Team Kopish, and I'm Matthew Crist. And today we're going to take Sir Kenny down a trip down memory lane to celebrate his 45-year anniversary of signing for the Reds. So Kenny, let me take you back to August 1977. Donna Summer, Brotherhood of Man and Showaddy Waddy riding high in the UK charts. The country's gripped by Silver Jubilee celebrations. Liverpool League and European champions. And a certain Kenneth Dalglish has just arrived from Anfield, having signed from Celtic for £440,000. I just wonder what your personal memories were of that summer and arriving at Liverpool.
Well, you've missed an important fact that Kevin Keegan left Liverpool. So obviously they must have been looking for someone. And Kevin had done a fantastic job for Liverpool, and both of them had enjoyed unparalleled success and getting the league and Champions League, or European Cup as it was called then, double. And then leaving was probably the high point of Kevin's career. But I'd told Celtic that I'd want to leave. My contract was up anyway, which didn't mean anything in those days. The club still owned the rights to it. It's not like now you've got freedom of contract. You just go. You just had to stay. So we played a pre-season game at Dunfermline, and I got a phone call after the game. We'd gone home, and Big Jock phoned up and said that, "Do you still want to leave?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Well, come back up to the park," which is Celtic Park, and says there's somebody here wanting to speak to you. So it was Bob Paisley and Sir John Smith. So it took about 30 seconds to agree the terms, whatever they agreed with the club. It was irrelevant to me. They just said, "This is what we want." I said, "That's no problem." So I met them in the morning, drove down to Liverpool, and signed on I think it'd be a Wednesday, playing the Charity Shield on the Saturday against Man U.
You'd been at Liverpool you'd had a try at Liverpool before, hadn't you? About 10, 11 years before this, I think you went down to Liverpool as a 15-year-old and had a trial, and Bill Shankly was there, and obviously it didn't work out, but it obviously made an impact on you, and probably why you wanted to come back all those years later.
No, I was down there when I was 15. So I knew what like it was. And Shanks and Reuben Bennett dropped me off at the YMCA in Mount Pleasant after we played a game, and they said that they'd like to sign us. And they said, "We'll send the scout up to your mum and dad's house in Glasgow." So they did that, and I was just 15 years of age. It was a wee bit frightened to move that far away from Glasgow. So, as I say, they did offer. They said they wanted to sign us, but I stayed in Glasgow and started working as amongst other things, an apprentice joiner. And it just, so after having been there at 15, I had an idea, but like, no for the inside, but you were all part and parcel of it. We used to change it at Anfield and jump in the bus and travelled into Melwood for training. And you get a good insight when you're on the bus. But like it is, everybody mixing together. It was very, very comfortable there. So that was as far. I knew a little bit about him, and I saw a documentary before the European Cup final that year in '77, and it just seemed as if it hadn't changed. The people had changed, but the principles and everything else had never changed. And I thought, if I'm going to go somewhere, that would be perfect for me. But they came, and that was me. I was off, and very happy wee puppy. Come down to Liverpool for the game.
You mentioned the departing Kevin Keegan there, who obviously left at the end of the '77 season. Liverpool haven't won the European Cup and the league. It's probably something you've been asked many a time before, but did you feel an immense sense of pressure filling in for the void that he left, or is it just a case of you could only do what you could do, and Kevin Keegan was yesterday's news?
Oh, Kevin, he's never yesterday's news, is he?
No, that's not.
For anybody. So for me, I can't replicate Kevin. You have to be yourself. You've got a better chance of being successful if you just be yourself. So be yourself. That's why he signed you. So that's all I could do. Just relax, be yourself, and see how it goes.
Yeah, so obviously, even though you're from the north of the border, you must have been obviously well aware of the work that Shankly had done and then Paisley. On a whole, though, how daunting was the prospect of coming to Liverpool, especially after the season they just had? Obviously, you're coming from a massive club in Celtic already, but did it feel like a step up? Did it feel like the pressure just went up a level as well? How daunting was that?
No, there's pressure. There's pressure when I left as well, playing at Celtic. They were the first British team to win the European Cup.
Yeah.
They were the ones that took a chance with me when I was 16 and 17 to sign us. And join them, and without Celtic Football Club, I wouldn't have been going to Liverpool. So every team you go to is hugely important, because if you're a fan of that club, that's the best club in the world. That's your club. You support them, so you've got to do what's your best and see how it turns out. But no, it was, for me, going to Liverpool was I was very fortunate that I got to go to where I would have chosen. To be perfectly honest, as far as I knew it, I never had a choice anyway. It was either stay at Celtic or go to Liverpool. So, as I say, coming down to Liverpool was great. Shanks was there when I was 15. He left in '74, and Bob Paisley came in. The success continued, and it was continuing, and when I came. So to win the European Cup in the first season was something that you could only have dreamt about. We got close a couple of times at Celtic, semi-final of the European Cup and semi-final of the Cup Winners' Cup, but never quite made the final. So to win a European trophy was always something that I dreamt of. So to win it in your first season was a bonus.
I mean, you talk about trophies there. You were late at that team that you joined with, laden with trophies. I mean, your time there, you won 6 league titles, 3 European Cups, an FA Cup, 4 League Cups. Did you have any idea at the time just what you would achieve when you joined Liverpool all those years ago? You must have had an inkling of why the club was going under Bob Paisley.
No, my first and most important thing was just be yourself. Do as well as you possibly can, and don't try and copy anybody. Just be yourself, and let's see how we got on from there. The success was they didn't take Kenny Dalglish, by the way. When I was there, it was down to the Liverpool Football Club, and every single one of us would chip in. Every single player would chip in their own way, whatever was important. And I think the great thing about it was there was nobody in the dressing room that thought they were bigger or better. than the guy that was next to you. They were all in it together, and I think to have success, you've got to have a good dressing room, and the dressing room there was brilliant.
So in terms of all the success you managed in the years, I mean, accolades for days, we could go on and on about it. But for you, Kenny, what are the personal standout moments from your time at Liverpool?
I think obviously the winning the European Cup in the first year. And every time, and the great thing about when I arrived, they just won the league and the European Cup. But the pre-season training, the small time that I joined in at the end of the pre-season, just before the Charity Shield, and they were determined to win something again that year. And I thought, this will do me fine. I've just come in here, and they've just won 2, but they want to go again. So that was the determination to do well was paramount in making having the success they had. But when you're in there, moving forward, you win it in the first year, and we won a lot of other things. And I think the most important thing, regards to trophies, is your last one's the most important, and you look forward to your next one. You don't just assume that because you've won that, you're not going to win it again, or that's you reached your top. No, they always thought that they can go better, and it was brilliant to be part of that.
I just wanted to touch on your bond with the Liverpool people. I mean, it seems to me your feelings for the club and the people and of the great city of Liverpool is as strong today as it was when you first joined all those years ago. What do you put that down to?
I don't know. I don't know. No, it's funny. People come up and say, "Oh, thanks very much." Why do they need to thank me? I should be thanking them. We came down here with 2 young children. About Kelly was 18 months or just a wee bit over. Paul was 6 months or something. And we were all Glaswegians. Marina was a Glaswegian. So was I. The 2 kids were born in Glasgow. And we come down here, and you think it was just an extension of Glasgow. The way that when we came at first, the way that we were received by the people, the friendliness and the humour, it's very similar to Glasgow. So it was easy for us to settle down. And then 2 of the girls born in Liverpool as well. And that's, for me, it just became home for both of us and the children. All born and raised, no born, but 2 born and raised here, and other 2 raised here, but no born here. So the whole family had a really close affinity with Liverpool. And it was just the welcome you got and the friendship you had and the way it carries forward. It's just some things suit you, some things don't. But coming to Liverpool was certainly one of the better decisions I've made in my life.
Glad you made the decision.
Long may it last. And that wraps up our Fan Zone special for today. Please drop us a like if you enjoyed what you've seen. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Big thank you to Sir Kenny for joining us, and Callum, of course, from Kopish. And thank you at home for watching. We'll see you again soon.